everybody and welcome back to A Royal Reader. My name is Cici and today we're going to be talking about my 2023 TBR as well as some goals that I have for reading as well as the YouTube channel. Let's start off with the goals first. So I'm not going to be quite hard on myself this year just because last year was something else, so I'm going to give myself a little bit of an easy time this year. So the first goal that I have is going to be completing at least 5 series. Obviously I want to try and complete more than that, but as a base I just want to at least complete 5. I am in the middle of a lot of duologies, so if I can get some of those done then I would be able to reach this goal quite easily. It's just getting to at that point of actually reading that second book in a duology. So the next reading goal that I have is getting my physical TBR down by at least 20 books. So my total goal for the year is to read 40 books. So I figured if I could at least read half of that amount from my physical owned collection, then I would be doing a pretty good job. Now these next 2 goals aren't exactly reading or no, they're not really reading related, but they do encompass like my goals for 2023, and I think they do fit in with like the reading and this channel and stuff. So the first goal that I have is I want to try and make sure that I hit 1K by the end of the year for my YouTube channel. I really do want to try really hard with getting more content out to you guys. I feel like this year I'm going to be more diligent in filming and editing and uploading and things like that. So I want to try and hit 1K by the end of the year. I think that'll be something that would just be incredible. And then my last goal that I have for the year is I want to finish my first draft of my novel. I have a few different drafts at the moment for a couple of different stories, so I want to finish the very first draft for at least one of them. I don't know which one it'll be, but I want to complete the first draft of one of them. I don't know, I don't care, but one of them I want to complete. So those are my goals for 2023. Now let's move on to the books that I want to definitely try and get to for 2023. So the first one actually coincides with one of my goals, which was to try and finish at least 5 series. So this one is the last book of a series, and that is Auroras End by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is the 3rd and final book in the Aurora Cycle series. I am terrified of how this is going to end because first 2 books in the series, I cried at the end both times, but nonetheless, I am so super excited to finally finish this series and to find out what is going to happen. This series is a crazy whirlwind of a story, and there's constantly plot twists that are changing everything, and I am excited and terrified to see what is going to happen. So if you don't know what the Aurora Cycle is about, we have a sort of funny cast of characters who are become like the unlikeliest group of friends. Our main character that we follow is Tyler and Aurora. Tyler is the top of his class at the flight academy, and he's meant to be able to pick the best of the best out of his class for his squad, and unfortunately he gets sidetracked by discovering this spaceship that had been missing for over 100 years, and discovers that there's a life form on it which is actually Aurora. So he goes and rescues her and misses his own graduating ceremony, so he doesn't get to pick the very best. He ends up having to pick the last people that are left, which is how we have our group of Squad 312, I believe it is. I can't even remember. Yeah, 312. And they have their very first mission where they have to go out and explore, and they discover that Aurora has actually stowed away on their ship and she has these magical powers that she didn't know she had. And then the government is suddenly chasing after them. So that's basically the very brief premises of the first book. This is the 3rd one. I am terrified and nervous about what's going to happen, but I am really excited to get to this at some point. The next one that I want to get to is for reading more diversely within fantasy and want to be able to broaden my horizons into different cultures. So one that I have heard so many things about, and everyone just seems to absolutely love this book, so I'm really interested in picking it up, and that is Daughter of the Moon Goddess by Su Lin Tan. I am just so excited to pick this book up, plus the book is absolutely stunning, so I really want to pick this up. So this says that it is a retelling inspired by the Mid-Autumn legend. So I love hearing about myths and legends from different cultures. It's definitely an interest that I have. So I am really excited to see about the Chinese myths and legends because they're such an old culture that it would be really interesting to see this author's take on it. This book feels like it's been wet. I don't know how that's possible. So, yeah. So this one says that it is inspired by the legend of Chang'e, the moon goddess, and it is a captivating debut that weaves Chinese mythology into sweeping adventure of love and magic, immortals and love and family, immortals and magic. So it just sounds really interesting. I've heard amazing things about this, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. The next one is on a similar vein, where it's, you know, reading more diversely and opening myself up to different cultures and things like that. So I'm going with She Who Became the Sun by Shelley Parker Chan. So I think this is meant to be like a Sapphic Mulan, possibly. I could be wrong. But in this one we've got our main character who... Alright, so basically our main character's brother passes away, and there's no one left to sort of achieve greatness for their family. So our main character decides that she is going to sort of disguise herself as a male and be her brother, essentially. Yeah, so she steals his identity to enter a monastery. There, disguised as a male novice, Zhu learns she can be ruthless to avoid her fate. But when her sanctuary is destroyed, Zhu is cast back into the war-torn world. To change her ending, there's only one thing she can do: claim her brother's destiny as her own. So that sounds incredible. I've heard awesome things about this, so I'm really excited to pick this one up. The next couple of books that I have on here are all for completing series that I have started. So the first one is completing These Hollow Vows by Lexi Ryan duology. So I have started reading this. I've read it ages ago. I'm 132 pages in. It's just a YA fantasy series that we've got Fae and all that sort of stuff. I think this is meant to be like ACOTAR and The Cruel Prince-esque. So we've got our main character whose sister has been sent into the Feylands, and so she goes after her in an attempt to get her back. While she is there, she strikes up a deal with the Unseelie Prince, where she has to go undercover to try and marry the Seelie Prince, and while she is in the Seelie court, she has to discover these, I think it's 3 or 5 different, yeah, 3 magical relics from the Seelie court, and there's also a love triangle in here, I think. So it just sounds interesting. I was enjoying what I've read so far. It is a YA though, so I'm not entirely too sure how I'm going with YA, if I'm honest. Not having the best of time, but we'll see how this goes. Next one on my list is one that I have been meaning to get to for years, and I think I continuously put it on my yearly TBR and then just never get around to it, so hopefully this is the year that I finally do. Let's keep our fingers crossed, shall we? The Darker Shade of Magic series by V.E. Schwab. I read this before the last book came out, and I really enjoyed it and was fascinated by it, and then didn't pick up the rest of the series. Yeah. So I'm hoping that I can later on this year. I'm going to desperately try and get my way through this. From what I can remember of this, we've got our main character Kel. If you didn't know what the story is about, main character Kel, he has a magical jacket cloak that can change and allow him to travel to different Londons. In this world there are 5 different Londons, each of them having their own special thing, and he sort of brings back bits and pieces from the different Londons, which isn't really allowed, and he is contracted to take something, and it ends up in the wrong hands of somebody. I can't exactly remember. It has been almost 4.5 years, if not longer than that. I think I read this back in 2016 or 2018. Let me just double check. I think I read this in 2016, so it's been a while since I've read this, so yeah, but I definitely want to finish it. Alrighty, so the next series that I want to finish up is the Nevernight Chronicles. So I've got book 1 and 2 here. I am planning on getting the first one. This has got mold on it? No. I'm planning on getting these covers in the paperbacks anyway, because I like these covers more. It's so annoying. But as you can see, I've already read Nevernight, the first book, so I just need to go on with God's Grave and Dark Dawn, I think it is the last one, something like that. But yeah, this series is really, really good. I really liked the first book. It ended on a cliffhanger, which was really exciting. In this, we have our main character, Mia Corvair. She is trying to get into this like assassin school so she can get revenge on the people who killed her family and her father, kind of like Italian mafia bosses in a way. So it was really exciting, very interesting, and I can't wait to continue on with the series and see where it goes and see what all the hype is about. So yes. The next book on this one is The Ending of a Duology, and that is The Cursed Crowns by Catherine Weber and Catherine Doyle. It is the second book in the Twin Crowns duology. I'm really excited to finish this one off. I had a really fun time reading the first one. It has 2 main characters. They are twins. One is left in the palace to grow up as a princess, and the other one was taken away by the witches and brought up as a witch. When she reaches the age of, I think it's like 16 or 18, she decides that she's going to take back the crown and basically liberate the witches and give them back the ruling ability and the power, and decides to sort of do like a swapsy with the princess and herself. So that's the premises of the first book. I'm really excited to get to the second one and interested to see how the story wraps up. Then the last series I have on this list is the Fortuna Swan series by KJ Sutton. I think I'm only 3 books into this series, and I think the 5th or 6th one is going to be released in 2023. Super excited. I have seen Becca from Becca in the Books and Ashley from I Follow Through Fiction. They are both of the people that decided me on this series, and I've seen their reactions to the latest books, and I am terrified but so excited at the same time. The Fortuna Swan series, we follow our main character, Fortuna Swan. She is a mythical being called a nightmare. She has the ability to make you physically see your worst nightmares, and she draws power from that. At the beginning of the book, she is trying to find where her brother is. I think he's been missing for, I think it's like 5 years or so, something along those lines, without any help, until one day a fae comes along and says, I know where their brother is and I can take you to him, but you have to marry me in order to do so. So she's like, oh well, this is the first lady that I've had in ages, so okay, fine, I'll marry you. Hijinks ensue. There is so much in this book that is just insane. Definitely has me on the edge of my seat. I am interested to see what is going to happen. But yeah, definitely excited to continue this. Alrighty, so those are all of the books that I have on my 2023 TBR, as well as my goals for the year. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what some of your goals are down below in the comments, so we can all try and motivate each other so we can finish these goals that we have for the year. Let me know what some of your books are that you want to read for 2022. I would love to know. No, I said 2022. 2023. I would love to know what you're reading down below in the comments, so do be sure to write those down. If you'd like to see more of me, then do be sure to hit that subscribe button and also check out my social media links. Links are always in the description box, so do be sure to check those out. I've got Twitter and Instagram, so click on those and give me a follow so we can stay in touch. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in another one later on.